Hey guys, welcome back to the TohirT channel. Tahir is here. I hope you had a fantastic week. This video is very specially for our side hustlers, solo entrepreneurs. Maybe you're running your own small consulting entrepreneurial gig where you have the skills, knowledge, or expertise that you're trying to share with other small businesses, maybe other medium-sized businesses, or even other solo entrepreneurs. But you are the one who also has that small hesitation and the barrier of how much do I charge? Like, what do I charge for my services? What kind of price tag do I put on what I have to offer? Well, you're not the only one. There are plenty of people who are trying and struggling to overcome the same barrier. And in today's video, I'm talking to Rupali Monga, who is a friend of mine, former graduate degree classmate, and also a successful entrepreneur who've been at it for a few years now. And she had a very interesting methodology to share by how she arrives at the value and at the price that she charges her clients. Let's do this. On Saturday, I had to drive to Jersey and record this new project, this longer form project I'm working on. You won't see it until probably end of October, beginning of November. But that was the conversation with Rupali Monga, who is a successful entrepreneur who've been at it for a while. And as we were talking with her, as we were talking about her journey, about how she came up with some of the ideas for her businesses, what her goals and what she's striving to achieve, throughout all that conversation, there was a small moment in the recording session when she mentioned how she arrives at that value that she thinks she can charge her customers. That immediately caught my eye, because in my conversations with other entrepreneurs, with other small business owners who are just starting, the conversation of how much do I charge for my service comes out pretty frequently, and it's one of the first hesitations that they have, because let's face it, it is an awkward conversation. Money conversation is always very awkward to tackle. I find this equally challenging. I do not even charge for my videos yet, but if you would ask me right now how much I would have charged you for it, I have no clue. Hopefully by the time you are my potential client watching this video, I already know, but right now at this moment of recording, I don't know how much I would charge. I share the same hesitation, so I was as curious to learn and understand what should be the better approach, because at the end of the day, I avoid that awkward conversation about the money by not charging for my video work at this point. While you guys out there are probably concerned, maybe you're pricing it too low, you're pricing your services too low, and people perceive low price as a low quality. Or maybe you're afraid that you're going to overprice and underdeliver, so you will not get the same job again from the same client. Well, if this all familiar, let's go and listen to Rupali, because she had a very interesting approach to how to arrive at that price point.
The way that I did it when I was consulting and I arrived at my price, I did a couple of things. First of all, don't ever play the price game. Okay, if you don't want to be the cheapest option, then how do you go about pricing yourself? So a couple of things that I did, like for my consulting, I looked at what was my competition charging, because you kind of need to know that stuff, right? Like, I mean, if you know your competition charging $3,000, you're charging 10, that's a problem. I mean, it's not a problem actually if you can position yourself the right way. So it is about positioning. And then I looked at how much I was making previously, and I did my hourly rate. Right, and I looked at, okay, of my hourly rate, how much would it take me? I had to break it down. So I created a very clear-cut like curriculum on what I would consult on. Okay, like what are all the steps? What would this business owner, how would I take her from A to B? What are the milestones that we would need to achieve for her to achieve results for whatever it is that we're trying to put forth, right? And so that's what I first did. So you got to get clear on the process. Like, what is the process of the services that you're going to be offering? Map that out first. Then you got to see, okay, well, if this is what I'm going to be doing for her to get to A to B, and these are the milestones, how much time would I need to dedicate to help this person achieve that milestone? So again, reverse engineer it. Okay, and yeah, that's what I did. I took out an Excel sheet and I created the whole like outline of what it would take for us to get from A to B, and I put the milestones, and then I calculated it. I was like, okay, this is everything I would need to do. And then once I calculated the hours, then I looked at my rate. How much was I making in my corporate job? Okay, because I don't want to be making less than that, right? Hey, I could even be making more than that. You know, this is one-on-one service. So I did charge a premium for that. I'm not doing group coaching. I'm doing a one-on-one. You're getting my undivided attention to help you grow your business or help you start your business at that early time, right? And yeah, and that's what I did. I took the amount of hours it would take me for all of that, multiplied it by my hourly rate, and I came up with the price with a little bit of extra, love in there to account for the fact that I'm working one-on-one with people, because you can't scale that easily when you're working one-on-one. So you need to be compensated very nicely in order for it to be worth it.
It's funny how it works. I was there recording a video to teach you guys something new from her experience. Yet as I was listening to her approach at how she came up with a price for her consulting service, even I was like, wait a second, dude, you need to really memorize it, because this is something you might use later on. I love it. I love when I can teach you guys something new and I can learn something in the process. And if you think that I'm really that knowledgeable, well, I usually just learn things one step ahead of you, 1 hour ahead of you. And once you watch the videos on this channel, you're pretty much caught up to my level. So welcome to the club. And I totally understand if you would watch this video, you would listen to Rupali's advice, you think, hey TohirT, but this is not 100% applicable to my industry, to the kind of service that I offer, to the kind of product that I'm trying to sell to my clients. This is fair. And to some extent, her methodology not necessarily as 100% replicable for example, video work. Well, with all that said, as I was listening to her, I actually took away 3 main points that I think are across the board applicable to any kind of industry, service, or the clientele that you're facing. Takeaway number 1, do your research. Do not hesitate to go and check out the pricing sheets or the fees that other companies are charging for the similar kind of service. Or if you're completely creating a new service, I bet there's some overlap with some other kind of companies or some other kind of consultants where you can look and roughly understand what the prices are out there. Well, you can also just call one of those companies and pretend that you're a client who is doing their research. And with that, understand what kind of value you can provide and what kind of price you can charge for it. It's simple corporate intelligence and it is legal. And after all, you can just Google it. Takeaway number 2, think about how long will it take you to complete that project, to complete that task that you're about to take on, and compare it to the price point that you're getting paid in your 9-to-5 job. If you're a salaried employee, count how many hours it takes you to complete your task throughout the month, divided by your monthly salary, and you will arrive at your hourly rate. Or if you're already an hourly salary employee, you already know your price point. Now, multiply the number of hours of that task by the dollar amount that you're getting paid, and this is the bare minimum that you should be paying, because the argument out there is if it's going to take you 10 hours to complete a side task where you could have worked for the extra 10 hours at your job and get paid the same amount of money, you should at least charge the same to net it out and maybe add some of that small premium that Rupali mentioned, because it's a one-on-one interaction rather than you versus the entire corporation. The third one, the last one, and probably the most important takeaway for me personally, avoid price haggling. It's not about driving that dollar amount and arriving at certain dollar amount that perfectly matches between what your client wants to pay and what you want to make. It's always about the value. Focus on selling the value. Do the value selling, what they call it. Think about what kind of unique things that you're adding to the project, unique things that your potential client will not find elsewhere, and use that as a justification for how much you're going to charge. And with that, I think you're ready to go and finally make some of that money for your side hustle. Happy hunting. And if you are ever hesitant, if you are ever not sure what will be the next step, how much should I charge for the next project, for a different kind of project, different kind of entrepreneurial venture that I'm about to start, well, always approach it with the same intellectual curiosity, and always know that you're never going to be perfect. You will at some point overcharge, at some point you will undercharge. You will figure out eventually that fair price point that you think is worth your time and is worth the effort and the value that you're going to create for your client. Did Rupali's advice help you to calculate how much you should charge? Do you have your own methodology of calculating your fee? And what are other challenges and barriers out there that are preventing you from really leveraging and monetizing your side hustle, your different types of skills that you can potentially offer to others outside of your regular job? Let us know. Share your comments, ideas, links in the section below. And this is all that I have for you guys for this week. Short, sweet, to the point. And as you've guessed, this is a portion of a bigger video project that I'm working on right now based on Rupali's story, because it's fascinating. To me personally, her story is fascinating. From Wall Street to corporate America to now running her entrepreneurial ventures. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. You should wait, stay tuned and watch that full video. But for now, I hope you learned something small, new and interesting from Rupali's story and from this channel. Thank you very much guys for stopping by. If you're new to this channel, go ahead, hit the subscribe button and check out the videos in the backlog. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you very much for stopping by. As always, let me know in the comment section below what you thought about this video, and I will see you all next Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern on this very channel. Exciting time. I'm finally happy that I'm making some of those videos with other entrepreneurs. I really wanted to tell their stories. B, weird because I had to re-record this entire video. I recorded it. I was happy with the result. I was done. I was like, okay, peace, deuces, time to get ready for some rest. And I realized that I did not turn on the mic. It's still on. Yeah, I'm looking at the screen to see that the spikes for the microphone is coming up because I did not pay attention to this. I was too distracted, I guess. I don't know, something else on my mind. I'm happy. I'm done with this video. Now I'm ready for rest. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.